I love the words you have just used. So the words partner and fan, that is something I can fully agree on. And unfortunately, studying law in Germany, you're more or less trained that your client is possibly your next enemy, because if you do something wrong, they will sue you. And I think that doesn't work. Yeah, you need your clients as partners, or even better, as fans. If you have that feeling that your client or customer is your fan, you can be sure that you have done something right. Yeah.
But it might be one remark. It might be a little bit, let's say, more complicated in your field, because it's always a kind of a legal thing, isn't it?
Probably.
So to become a fan of a lawyer, you really have to deliver.
Difficult.
You have
difficult.
to deliver.
Always pricey.
Well, customers
Also, in
always
addition,
say, we love Dr. Ebner.
Oof, I would say not always. Sometimes.
That would be a very good campaign. We love him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Indeed.
There was a very famous law commercial in the U.S. I don't know the law firm's exact title, but it was a client saying, Larry Parker got me $2.1 million. And this line was like the most famous commercial for a law firm. They would come on during these talk shows in the afternoon, and then they'd run the commercial. And they had a story about a guy who got in a car accident, and the accident attorney was Larry H. Parker. And there's a quotation that Larry Parker got me $2.1 million. And it literally was the client being a fan of the lawyer because he got him so much money.
Jean, again, creating value for your customer.
Yeah.
2.1 million.
Yeah.
Exactly. Monetize it. Give it a number. So this is a good segue to ask another question. And having myself lived in Germany for over 20 years, but being a US citizen and also working internationally, you can tell different countries are a little bit more informal versus formal in their business interactions. I would say because of the culture in Germany and also the language culture, you've got formal and informal ways of addressing people, especially in the you form. Du is informal, Sie is formal. We don't have that in the United States and in the English language. But the question I want to get to is Germany too conservative for business to where you can't turn a partner into a fan, or is it possible?
I observed tremendous changes in Germany. I'm now working for a tech company, for a tech startup. So sneakers are totally fine, pullovers totally fine. That changed a lot. So it has to do with let's say, with a startup atmosphere here, where everybody is on first name basis, even in Germany, to whoever you're talking in that field. But also, let's say, with talking to our fans and to our partners, as long as they might not be in very conservative sectors, like in the banking industry, it changed a lot. So it becomes kind of much more, let's say, relaxed, the atmosphere. A little bit, I would say, Americanized, if you want so. So I do not see so much of a difference any longer between the US and Germany especially.
Well, we're going to systematically try to bring cowboy hats into the German business culture.
And it's totally fine.
For instance.
Yeah, and it's I accepted it from second one when you entered the room with your beautiful hats. So
Thank you.
It's a new normal. If you want to wear a hat, please do so. Yeah.
Yes. And if I maybe try to paraphrase that question a little bit more American-wise, very indirect, more aggressively, Rainer, do you think young entrepreneurs can still be successful in nowadays Germany? We hear about all these regulations, about these taxes, about maybe an administration that does not really help young entrepreneurs and so on. What is your view on that? And especially, how would you compare that to maybe Germany 20, 30 years ago?
I think a lot is changing in Germany. So education is basically still good to excellent. if you go to the right schools and to the
Yeah, I
right
would agree.
universities. So from an educational point of view, I would say there are the resources, there is a basis for success. Second, pupils and students are more and more trained on project work.
Mm.
So thinking about what could be a successful project which can then be turned into a business. So it's becoming more part of the education system, not only learning equations, but also learning in successful project
Yeah, practical
management.
applications, I think, is the heart of the German education system, which they call the Ausbildung in German. Also because of that sort of hands-on vocational training, which stems back to woodworking, a variety of jobs where you're using your hands and your natural God-given talents. So I do believe that's true what you say.
So let's say we are really competing with our software solution on a worldwide scheme.
Yeah.
The core team of our developers are German developers, specialized in AI, specialized in machine learning, specialized in doing huge amounts of texts and huge amounts of data. So these kind of talents you will also find in Germany. And that might be a huge advantage even, because you're not competing like in Silicon Valley or in Tucson or in Austin, where a lot of, let's say, tech companies, software companies are fighting for the same talents. It's a little bit different here. What is on the other side missing here is an ecosystem which gives you easy access to capital.
Yeah.
So capital is still, let's say, a limited factor. There is much richer environment to get even in seed phase when you only have the idea. So you know this could be a great project. This could be a great idea. That already some angel investors or seed investors already believe in your idea and believe in you as a person and believe in your team and already donate some money to let that seed grow and to get that seed planted.